Alrighty, and we are live. Hi Adeola, how are you?
Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing too? I'm well, thank you.
Thank you so much. I am well, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for accepting the invite to join us this evening as our guest mentor and our guest speaker. I appreciate it. Thank you for making the time.
You're welcome. The pleasure is mine. I'm so happy to be here, and I believe we're going to have a good time together.
Thank you so much. I'm also looking forward to learning a lot from you. I had a session this afternoon with a number of supply chain professionals from the Kenya Institute of Supply Chain Management, and one of the questions that was being asked was pretty much around personal branding, how to position yourself, that when people think of recruitment, they're actually thinking of you, how to be a thought leader. I have paraphrased a bit of the questions that were being asked. But I'm so glad that this event is so timely because most of the questions that were being asked, then you are going to be able to respond and to guide us on, given that you're the subject matter expert. So thank you for agreeing to join
All
us.
right, it's my pleasure.
Thank you. So I'm going to introduce you. Our guest speaker, our guest mentor, this is a mentoring session also today, is Adeola. Adeola is an accountant. She believes that accounting is a very interesting profession. And I'm going to read her about in her own words so you can get a feel of who Adeola is. Adeola says, I am an accountant and I must say accounting is a very interesting profession that I have been enjoying over the past 15 years. I am a first class graduate of accounting, and not just that, I am the only one who graduated with a first class in my department that year. Oh, yes. I love figures, and that was why I followed my dream of becoming an accountant. Presently, I work as a full time finance professional at the African Development Bank. Accounting and finance is intriguing, and I have been following suit passionately. My profession as an accountant has also been helpful even to me in making personal financial decisions. So, as I'm reading this, I hope you can understand why she is also speaking about monetizing your knowledge and your skills. Adeola continues and says, I am experienced in financial planning and reporting, borrowing, derivatives accounting, equity, budgeting and cash flow, portfolio management, treasury instrument analysis, and reporting. However, I discovered that there is more to me than figures and calculations. So, when I'm not doing accounting, I am pursuing my other areas of interest. I love speaking, teaching, and impacting knowledge. I coach people who need clarity on their personal development journey and individuals who are passionate about building a strong brand online and offline. I am a LinkedIn coach with proven track records. Today, Omobabinrin is not just a name in this field, it has become a brand. Let's work together, and she can help you with becoming a profitable coach, monetizing your knowledge, your skills, your experience, and your expertise, building a personal business or corporate brand, navigating LinkedIn and LinkedIn optimization, your personal development journey, influencing your business, event, and brand. So this is who Omababinrin, but this evening we'll call her Adeola, is in a nutshell. In Kenya, we say karibu sana. So karibu sana Adeola.
Merci beaucoup in French.
I don't know
Okay,
how to respond. How do I respond? What am I supposed to say? How do you say welcome?
merci. So if I
Merci.
say merci beaucoup, you say bienvenue. Bienvenue is you're welcome.
Oh, bienvenue. Ah, now I need to learn. I need to learn. Second half of the year goals. Let me hand it over to you, Adeola. You can proceed.
Uh,
The floor is all
all
yours.
right, thank you so much. Please, can you help me with the pronunciation of your name again? I'm sorry,
No,
I'm very bad.
Eileen.
Noeline. Okay, Noeline,
Yes.
thank you so much for having me on board today. And today I'm going to be speaking about personal branding, monetizing your skills, and LinkedIn optimization.
Mm,
I know that the word personal branding is not new as it is. This is something that we would all have had in one way or the other. And I want to believe that in this age and time, we all know what personal branding is. But if we do not know what personal branding is, that is what I am here to do. I'm here to simplify it and make it very, very simple in such a way that you can remember any day, anytime. So we have two words together. We have personal and branding. Personal is you. So when we are talking about personal branding, we are talking about you as a person, branding yourself. I am very sure that we have heard about product branding, business branding. Oh, I love that brand. I love to buy from that brand. I love that brand because of this and this. So before now, branding is just synonymous to just businesses, products, and services. So when you hear the word brand, the first thing that comes to your mind is a business. When you hear the word brand, the first thing that comes to your mind is a product or a services. Oh, I love that brand of toothpaste. I love that brand of clothing. I love that brand as I mean, talking about a company now, you can say, oh, I love that brand. I love Samsung. I love iPhone. That is the brand. And it's correct. But over the years, branding has evolved and it has cascaded down to a person now, not just about services or products or companies. You as a person now, you are a brand. You represent something that is phenomenal in the society. And so, we have the word personal and branding. Personal branding simply means branding yourself. So I've said that personal is you as a person, right? So personal branding is branding yourself. So what does it mean to brand yourself? It simply means promoting yourself, promoting your expertise, promoting your unique values, your experience, your knowledge, letting people know that this is who you are. Apart from the job you do, apart from the business you run, you have so much more to add as value to the society, to people. And that is what we call personal branding. So personal branding can be defined as the consistent promoting of oneself, or as the consistent showcasing of one's skills, unique proposition, talent, gifts, expertise, and experiences. So in a nutshell, that's what personal branding is. But if you think that is not too big for you to assimilate, to digest, then you can also say personal branding is what people think about you, who people think you are. For instance, if people see your picture online without meeting you, do they know who you are? Does your face resonate with them? If people hear your name, if people come across your name at any corner, do they know who you are? Does your name resonate with them? If you are in a office, in an organization, so I'm talking now about personal branding for career professionals. If you're in an organization and you're working there, you've been there for over 10 years. Do people know you? Do they know what you stand for? They don't know. Do they know your skills, your capabilities? Do they know your area of expertise? So consistently showcasing all of those things that you have, consistently putting yourself out there, shining the spotlight on yourself, is what we call personal branding. And like I said, we are in a new era, we're in a digital era. And internet and technology has really made it very easy and cheap to promote your personal, to build your personal brand. We have the internet and the social media to leverage, whereby you can bring yourself to social media and say, this is who I am, this is what I can do, this is the value I have. I am a good communicator, I have public speaking skills, I have digital marketing skills, I'm an hairstylist, I know how to make it. So outside your business, who are you? For instance, if you're a shoemaker, I know a shoemaker, a particular lady is a shoemaker from Ghana on LinkedIn, who consistently put herself out there. But in fact, most of the time, you will even not know that this is a business. You will know more of her than her business, because she begins to talk about what she can do, what she can offer, the skills, the experience that can translate to value proposition for her. So now you can build your personal brand through 5 major areas. And number one of them is your talent or your gifts. I call it natural talent or gifts. So there's so many things you can do naturally without anybody teaching you. For instance, some people have good voices. They can sing very well. That's a natural talent. And that is something you can leverage to build your personal brand. Some people can dance. Some people can make all this art and craft material. They can, put things together to make it beautiful. Some people are good with decoration. Some people are good with driving. I mean, I've seen someone that did not learn how to drive and she knew how to drive. Okay, so there are so many other things that come to you naturally that you can do. Some people, they are good with speaking. We call them orators. That means they can speak very well, eloquently. They are bold, they are confident, they can face crowds, they can face multitude, express themselves and deliver. Trust me, it is not everyone that can do that. A lot of people are camera shy, a lot of people are crowd shy, they cannot face crowd, they cannot talk in public, and so many things. So all these things that come to you naturally as an individual are things we call your natural talent or your gifts. Then we also have your knowledge, which is where we are going to be dwelling more on today. Your knowledge is also something you can leverage to build your personal brand. So it means that, what do you know? Knowledge comes from the word know. What do you know? I know how to make hair. I know how to make dresses. I know how to tidy up a house. I know how to plan an event. I know how to plan things. When I and the girls want to have the hangout, we always plan it together, and I'm always the lead to plan, put colors together and say, on day one, we are wearing this, we are going to this place. I mean, you're a good planner. All those things are the knowledge you've acquired over the years by doing what you're doing. And they have become an asset to you that you can now use to build your personal brand. People also acquire knowledge through learning. If you go to school to learn anything, that is a knowledge. If you learn anything online on your own, via social media or via YouTube, or you took online courses, or you had a coach or a mentor, those things that you're learning in that process are also a body of knowledge. And you can use all those things to build your personal brand. Another thing you can use you can use to build your personal brand is your experience, your wealth of experience, whether it is personal experience or professional experience. These are things you can use. Some of us, we've gone through a lot of things in life. Some of us, we've gone through some trauma, some childhood dysfunctionality. We've gone through the good, the bad, the ugly. We've gone through nice things in our lives too. You've gotten quite a number of scholarship. You've represented your country in so many areas. You've won a lot of awards. These are personal experiences that you've had, whether they are good. And because a lot of people believe that it is only bad experiences that we can leverage. No, you can also leverage the good one. When you were reading my bio, you talk about the fact that I graduated with the first class. That's an experience I had. It's not something that just jumped on me in a day. It took me a lot of time, effort, and commitment, to come by that first class. So it's an experience. And I can build my brand on it to say, if you want to graduate with the first class as a young student, these are things you need to do. I start talking about it. I start teaching people. I start sharing my experiences, how I failed, or how I could not meet up with a class, what I was able to do, how I was able to meet up with my CGPA, and so many other things. So this is a body of experiences I've acquired over the years that I can put together to leverage and build my personal brand. And the number 4 thing you can also use to build your personal brand is your expertise. Expertise means, so when they call you, expertise comes from the word expert. So when they call you an expert in something, expert does not mean that you know more than other people. Expert just means that you've gained mastery over that thing as a result of being doing it over the years. So it means that you've been able to do that thing consistently over and over and over and over. There's something we call the learning curve. Okay, and what it means is that if you keep doing something, if you keep doing just one thing over and over and over again, you will gain mastery on that thing, and you will be so good on it that it will be very difficult for anybody to beat you on that game, because you've done it over and over and you've gained mastery. Okay, so what is that thing that you've done for years? I mentioned that I'm also an accountant, and I've done accounting for years. 1, 2, 3, 4, I will count 15 years, 16 years I've been doing accounting. So you can actually call me an expert in accounting. And if I want to count as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have been doing branding, being a coach, being influencer for 9 years. Next year, I'm going to be celebrating my 10th year anniversary as a coach, as an online influencer. You can also call me an expert, because something I've been able to do successfully for 9 years, it means that I have gained some level of mastery over that thing. So that's another way that's another thing you can leverage, to build your personal brand. And the fifth one, which is the last one I'm going to be talking about, is your value and your belief system. What do you believe? Some of us, we believe in the institution of marriage. Some of us, we believe in morality, we believe in etiquette, we believe in good virtue, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the things. For some of us, we believe in purity, we believe in covering our body. You don't believe in exposing your body. Some of us, we believe we have some level of spirituality and faith in God. So some of us, we believe in so many other things I will not be able to talk about. But the truth is that you can build a brand around those belief systems, those ideologies. You can build a brand around it and become a personal brand with it. So, having said all of those things, how do you now monetize all those things that I have talked about? Because normally it looks very simple and like, okay, how do we now make a meaning out of all those things you've talked about? So number one thing is you need to get a social media platform that is suitable to promote your personal brand. I chose LinkedIn. I used to be on Facebook before, but at the point I moved to LinkedIn because I find LinkedIn more interesting and more suitable for what I'm doing. So you need to find a social media platform that is suitable for what you're doing as well. Whether you have interest in whether you have interest in maybe women empowerment, children, teenagers, you have interest in sports, you have interest in wellness and fitness, you have interest in automobile and so many gaming and so many other things, health, lifestyle, fashion, and so on and so forth. So whatever it is that you have chose, to use to build your personal brand, all you need to do is just look for a suitable platform, put it there and start promoting it, and that's all. And once you start, you put content consistently. You try to talk about that thing you've chosen, that area that you have chosen to specialize on. You start talking about it. You start talking about it to people. You start creating content around that area. And by the time you do that, you get a lot of followers. Excuse me. You get a lot of people who are following you because they love the kind of content you are dishing out. They want to know more about that thing. They are curious. For me, for instance, now I talk about branding. And apart from branding, I talk about some of my personal stories, to corroborate my journey. I talk about personal experiences. I talk about motivational content. I have motivational content, inspirational content. I talk about my subject matter, which is the main thing, which is branding. And so people want to know more because when they see my post, they say, oh, I love this lady. I love what she's doing. I love what she's talking about. So they follow you. And before you know it, you start amassing followers. A lot of people will be following you. They'll be following you because they want to learn from you, because they know that you have a lot of value that you're dishing out on your platform. And by the time people start following you, you can start selling to them. That is how to monetize your brand, your personal brand. So when you start building your personal brand, a lot of people start following you. And the next thing you need to do is start monetizing that audience. So for instance, you can do a training or a webinar around that thing that you know. For instance, if you're someone that is particular about women empowerment, you want to start teaching women how they can start businesses even from the comfort of their home. For some of these women, they are full-time housewives who are just at home sitting down doing nothing, just taking care of the house, taking care of the children. And you're like, okay, there's something you can still do while you are still at home. So you can monetize that personal brand by, giving them knowledge, webinar, organizing training, organizing webinar for them. And that thing that you teach them for an exchange of money. And that's it. So you monetize your knowledge, you monetize your skills, your experts, all those things that I've talked about now, you monetize them. But because for this LinkedIn video, we are dwelling on knowledge. So your body of knowledge is things that you've learned over the years, things that you've mastered, you've gone through, whether you learn them formally or informally. So you can start monetizing it by writing a book on those things. Oh, I know this, I know this, I know that. Put everything together in a book, package it, and start selling it to your audience. That is another way to monetize your brand, because Some things you know, other people do not know. Do not make any mistake. Do not ever make a mistake in life to think what you know is just casual, or what you know is not a big deal. After all, it's just something simple. Everybody knows it. No, you will be shocked that a lot of people are thirsty and they are eager to get that knowledge that you have that you are not appreciating. They want to know that thing, but if you don't teach them, how would they know it? If you don't put your best feet forward to say, I want to build a brand around this thing. There was a time I saw a video. Is it I saw the video, someone talked about it, and so there was a particular video on YouTube where the person is teaching people how to cry. I mean, ordinarily, you will see here how to cry. And that video, you can still go on YouTube and you'll see that video. That video has massive views. I think over 10 million or so, or close to 10 million views, because there are so many people that are just out of curiosity. It's not even because they want to learn something, but out of curiosity. How can somebody say, you want to teach me how to cry? I mean, who doesn't know how to cry? If you want to know how to cry, just jump from your stairs, hurt yourself, you wound your leg, you will cry. I mean, just put your hand in fire, you will scream, you will cry. So crying is not something you would think anybody should say, I want to teach people. But this guy still taught people, and he was still making money because the more the views for that person, the more the money. Okay, so as people are watching, as people are curious to watch and say, oh, I think I want to know what he's talking about. Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Apologies for that.
Okay, so as people are curious to know what you mean by how to cry, you are getting more money. You're getting more money. You're getting more money. Okay, so it means that whether they are learning from you directly or they came to your channel out of curiosity, the long and short is you're earning. As long as they are viewing, you're earning. And so there are so many things in this part of my of Africa that I come from. We back babies. I don't know whether you do that in Kenya. We back babies on our back. We tie the baby to our back as a woman. And do you know that it's not every woman, even the typical African woman, it's not every woman that knows how to back a baby. I have also seen a video where a lady was teaching people how to back a baby, and people were watching. Whether they are watching because they want to learn, like I said, or they are watching out of curiosity, they are watching, and the lady is making money. I mean, so there are so many local dishes today that you think, oh, who doesn't know how to prepare this? Who doesn't know how to, even lifestyle, fashion, combination of colors. I've seen it. I'm a very fashionista. I'm a very fashion-oriented person. And I've seen a lot of people who come to me and say, oh, I love the way you combine your colors. I love the way you dress. I love the way you look. Can you teach me? And I'm like, I am not a fashion instructor. I don't teach people. This thing I just came by these things naturally, by watching maybe Instagram, by watching other people, the way they dress, by just, using my instincts to, to just gauge that this color, just like what you're putting on a green jacket and a lemon. So I just feel green lemon, it comes from the same family and they should match. And so I just use my instinct to put these things together and they come out very nice. So I did not learn it from anywhere. Like I said, these are some of the things that we call natural talents, the ability to combine colors, to dress well. A lot of people do not know how to do these things. You would think, oh, who doesn't know how to dress well as a woman? No. Some people struggle with it. I've seen someone come to me and say, come and teach me how to smile. And I'm like, ow, smile. Now, smile come naturally. I did not learn it from anywhere. I mean, this is just one of the things that God gave me as a natural gift. And the person said, no, anytime I take pictures, I always see myself frowning. And when I see your picture, you have this beautiful smile, very wide or white smile on your face that makes your picture come out really great. Come and teach me how to smile. And I'm like, I don't know how to teach people how to smile because even me, nobody taught me. I didn't learn it from anywhere. So these are things that you think everybody know, everybody should know, everybody understand. No, it's not everybody that knows it. Some people need that knowledge and you need to start teaching them and you need to start monetizing it by making money from it. So you can make money by organizing training, webinar, mentoring, coaching. Also, you can make money from putting those things together in a book because it's not everybody that have the energy of training, coaching, and the rest. So if you are not that person that really likes, to talk, and demonstrate with hands and all that, you can put your thoughts together in a book and start selling. People will buy. People will buy. So another thing you can do is you can be a brand influencer. That is another way you can monetize your personal brand or your knowledge, because monetizing your knowledge varies, and it comes in different ways. So you can monetize your personal brand, and you can also monetize your knowledge. But remember, it is your knowledge that you use to build your personal brand. So everything is still, interwoven. It still work together. You can be a brand influencer, and what I mean by that is that you can influence for other business. You can influence for other people, whether they are product, their services, or they themselves. You can influence for them, and you get paid in return. People are making a lot of money from that today on Instagram, on LinkedIn, everywhere. People are making money because they are promoting other people's products and services. And you can also make money by becoming a public speaker. I am here today. If I want to be on a stage, on a physical stage, or if even online, some people still try to speak online. Just like I appear here, I can say, "Oh, if you want me to appear in your events, or in your audio event or your video event, I'm going to be charging you 500 USD, 200 USD, 300 USD, 1,000 USD." So, but you need to grow to that level. You don't just become suddenly. You don't just wake up one day and say, "Now I want to start charging." If you charge, nobody will pay you because you don't have the capacity yet. You've not built the stamina and the authority in that area yet. And so it's a gradual process. And that's why I will end it by saying that building your personal brand is work, and it's investment. It's not something that happen overnight. You need to be painstaking, you need to be patient, you need to go by it bit by bit, level by level, step by step. And I will recommend LinkedIn as a very good platform where you can do all of these things. I remember I mentioned that you should look for a suitable platform that fits what you're doing. And LinkedIn is one platform that you can leverage, to build your brand by putting out content, picking a niche, showcasing your thought leadership in that niche by putting out content that are relevant to that niche. So another thing I would like to talk about is that if you are building something, don't be everywhere. Don't be heavy. You need to stick to something. For instance, I am known for branding. I am known for coaching, branding, brand influencing, and all that. That's what I am known for. I will not talk about marriage, not because I don't know anything about marriage, but that is not the area I want to showcase my expertise on. That is not an area I want to build my brand on. I will not talk about leadership because that is not my area of experts. I will not talk about what again, women empowerment. I will not talk about teenagers, or I will not talk about children. I will not talk about adolescent and young adult because those are not my area. So when you start something, make sure you stay on track. Don't keep going everywhere. You cannot keep jumping on everything because you think I know something about it. Everybody should know something about something. You should know a thing about something. So for the fact that you now know something about this thing doesn't make you an expert in that thing. And the next thing is you just come on board and say, "Oh, now that I am this, I want to start talking about this." And you start talking about it today. Tomorrow you change to another thing. Next tomorrow you say, "Oh, I'm not talking about these two things again. I want to talk about this again." I mean, you keep going over and over to so many things. You will confuse your audience, and at the end of the day, you will not get any results. So I would advise that once you have determined that this is the area, like I said, I'm an accountant, but I don't showcase accounting. I don't promote accounting because I am not building a personal brand in accounting. I know few other people who are accountants that accounting is their brand. That is where they want to build their personal brand. So on LinkedIn, they start talking about bookkeeping, how you can manage your fund as a business owner. They talk about personal finances. They talk about savings. They talk about investment. They talk about financial literacy, and so on and so forth. But that is not where I have chosen, even though I have knowledge in that area. But I do not want to do that area. I want to do branding. I want to do coaching. I want to do mentoring and influencing. That is my area. So no matter how many things you know, you need to specialize on one or two maximum and say, these are the areas, or this is the area I want to concentrate on and I want to focus my attention on. And what that does for you is that it helps you to be an authority in that area. Just 1 minute more. So let me just give you an illustration. For instance, if you want, you need a plumber, you have a plumbing work, maybe your water closet got bad and you need someone to fix it for you. And two people came, and the first person said, I am a plumber. All my life, I have been doing plumbing work. 15 years now, it's only plumbing work I have been doing. I have done public work for this person, this person, this person, and that person. And you say, okay, I've heard you. And you move to the other person and say, okay, can we meet you? Can you introduce yourself? And say, oh, I am a teacher. I am a nurse. I am a plumber. I also do mechanic. I also know how to fix houses. I am also a bricklayer. Only you, 5 things. I mean, naturally, who are you going to go for? You will go for the plumber, because this one has shown that over the years, remember I talked about something called expertise. The person has gained mastery on that particular area. So instead of you going for someone that can do 5 things, in your head, you will quickly calculate and say, oh, I think I will prefer this person that has been doing just one thing over and over and over, because this person would have been able to master this thing and acquire expertise on this thing. So the person that said, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I'm a mechanic, I am also a teacher, I am also a chef, I can cook, I have done this, I am a waiter. No, I don't want to. Just go and, just go. So that is one of the things, that's one of the reasons why you need to stick to something and just be a master in that thing, so that we'll be able to establish thought leadership over that particular area. I think I will stop now so that we can have time to ask questions. I hope it's been amazing speaking on this topic so far.
Oh, you're very, very passionate about it. It's coming out very, very clearly in how you're expressing yourself. And just to go straight into the questions, and I'll start with the example you've given about the one who says, I am a plumber. And that's it, I am a plumber. This is what I do. Versus the one who says, I am. The opposite of that, Adeola, is situations where we find, for example, as a supply chain professional, I have been working in supply chain for so many years, but using myself as an example.
Okay.
And then but you find this person who, yes, they have specialized in a specific area, they're the subject matter expert in the specific area, but they don't talk about what they do. They don't put it out there. You attend an event, you don't say anything about it. You are
Mm,
subject matter on this, you do research on this, you do not say anything about it. You attend a training, you don't
mm.
say anything about it. For the person who is already a subject matter expert in their field, but they are not talking about it, what is your advice to them? How do they start, if at all?
Okay, it's very easy and straightforward. Just start.
Mm,
Because, like you said, you need to talk about what you're doing. Remember, I said personal brand is about promoting yourself, promoting your skills, your expertise, your experience, your unique value proposition, and so many other things. So, if you don't talk about it, who will? I mean, I
mm,
cannot speak for you. I can only speak for you when you have spoken about yourself. Because if I
mhm,
am speaking for you when you are not saying anything about yourself, it means I'm too forward. It means I'm
mhm,
busybody, because people will even ask me, why are you talking when this person is, who is even the the person in this whole thing is not saying anything. So it's very easy. Just put yourself out there. You need to showcase what you've got, your skills, your experiences, your expertise, your passion, your
mm,
value system, your belief system. Now you said, the way I'm talking, I am passionate. You can see the passion. Trust me, if you have not seen me spoken before, or you've not seen me put out any content, by looking at my face, just looking at my face, can you deduce that I am passionate about anything? No.
mm,
It is only when I open my mouth to talk, or I put out my content, I will now see through and say, oh, I think I like the way this lady talk. I think I see passion. I mean, today now you can even easily introduce me anywhere and say, oh, I know a particular lady from Nigeria who,
mhm,
is passionate about this thing. I think I will recommend her, because you've seen me put myself out there. But if I
mm,
am not seen on LinkedIn, I don't put content, you won't even see me to invite me to this event in the first place. And I mean, I don't
mhm,
even know who are the people watching this event right now. I don't know the kind of change it can bring to my life positively. I don't know where it can take me tomorrow. I don't know who will say, oh, I love that lady. I've heard her speak before. I think I want to engage her. I think I want to work with her. I don't know where my names can be mentioned, just because I have chosen to put myself out there. So it
mm,
is your responsibility as an individual to make sure that you put yourself out there. You attend an event, like you said, put it out. You will receive
mm,
an award, put it out. You know anything, you have any knowledge, put it out.
mm,
You've done something before, put it out. By the time you're putting all those things out, you're building your brand. And before you
mm,
know it, your name become a very, very big and stronghold name, household name, rather, household name that people begin to resonate with. I started this presentation by saying, when people mention your name, does anything comes to their mind? Do they know who you are? Do they know what you stand for? So by putting yourself out there, it helps you to be able to rent a space in the head of
mm,
people, so that when they see you anywhere, they say, oh, I think I know this lady, and this is what she represents. I think I know that guy. This is what he
mm,
represents. So it's as little as that. And I remember that in this topic, we're also talking about LinkedIn optimization.
yeah,
LinkedIn and other social media platforms has given us the opportunity, to put ourselves out there. They've given us that platform, and people are leveraging it, people are using it. So if you are not using it, it is your fault. It is nobody's fault, because everybody is making sure they are doing their best to make sure that they put themselves out there on those platforms that has been if you want to set up a platform as big as LinkedIn on your own, you know how
mm,
much it will cost you. Ordinary setting up your website, you know how much it costs you. And this is even some because some people have been able to construct the domain and just say, okay, just come and buy the domain name and use it. If you have to construct or build a domain name from the scratch by yourself, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. So this is a
mm,
platform that has been put together by someone, by one organization, by a group of people to say, you know what, this platform is here. Just come, do what you want to do, and expose yourself. I know you today through LinkedIn. If I want to come
mm,
to Kenya tomorrow, I already know that I know someone that I can easily call and say, oh, sis, I am in Kenya, can we go out, can we meet up? And that
mm,
will not be possible if not for LinkedIn. That will not be possible if I do not meet you on LinkedIn. That will not be possible if I do not put myself out where you can see me and engage me. So it
mm.
is non-negotiable. You just need to put yourself out there. That is just it.
So, Adeola, yes, we need to put ourselves out there. Assuming I am a shy person, I am obviously not a shy person, but assuming I am a shy person in the audience, and I'm thinking, I want to do this, I really want to do this. How many, like, if just a starter pack in a week, just to start, like, for the first month, shy person, never done it before. How many posts would you recommend that a person does in a week or in a month when they are starting? And at what rate should they progress posting content, sharing their opinions, and just beginning to craft themselves as a thought leader?
Okay, as a shy person, in fact, that reminds me that that's the next post I intend to make anytime from now. How you can build your brand as an introvert. For people
Hmm.
who do not want to be seen, for people who want to be, at the back scene, they don't want the spotlight to shine on them, and they still want to build a personal brand. How do they go about it? So I will. That is, by the way. But to your question, I will recommend at least one post in a week. So you can start with one post in a week, and
Hmm.
you don't see, technology has made everything so easy for us. For instance, we build our personal brand with our picture, if you look at all my posts, all you will see there is my pictures, my face. Why am I
Hmm.
using my picture? Not because I don't have what to do with money, because I spend hugely on this picture. These pictures are not cheap, they are very expensive. I buy my clothing, I buy my accessories, I hire a photographer, I hire a studio and get into the studio, take these pictures, and I pay heavily for them. So it doesn't
Hmm.
mean that I don't have what I'm doing with money, or I'm just being extravagant with my spending. No, I am actually using it to build my brand. And what it means
Hmm.
is that when you're seeing my picture, my face resonates with you. You see me anywhere on the internet, you know that, oh, I know this lady from somewhere, because I've seen her picture over and over on LinkedIn. So now, if you
Hmm.
think you don't want to put your picture out there because you're a shy person, you're a private person, and that, you can use AI. You can generate your own picture on AI. There are so many
Hmm.
amazing pictures you can use on AI today that you don't even need to put your face. AI pictures
Hmm.
that look exactly like human being. They will give you so many nice, just say, I want a woman who is sitting in the market selling tomatoes, wearing an African attire with a lot of crowd around her. Just put your prompt words on AI. Pew. It will generate a picture for you and you can use it. In fact, you can
Hmm.
use a lot of nice and funny pictures that will even get the attention of people to yourself. So if you know you don't want to use your picture, you can use a high picture. If you know you don't want to be posting every day, start with once a week. then you can progress to twice and thrice. I do not really advise posting every day, except you don't
Mm.
have something you're doing offline. And I think you should have something you're doing offline, because everything around you does not revolve around online. The last time I posted today now, the last time I posted was was on Sunday, and the
Mm.
next time I'm going to post again is Friday. So I give my posting space, because I don't want to be choked up with replying of comments, engaging with other people. It's overwhelming sometimes, and you don't want to be stuck in these things. So I would advise that you don't do more than 3 times a week.
Mm.
Sunday is a very good day for me to post. Me, I love posting on Sundays afternoon. Once I come back from church, I post, because I believe that a lot of other people will be free on that Sunday. People will go to church, they will hang out with their friends, just in the restaurant, they're looking at their phone. They have time because they are not at work. So Sunday is a good day for me to post. Another good day for me to post is Tuesday, Thursday, and I just allow myself to enjoy the process. I don't get choked up with posting in such a way that I don't even have time to
Mm.
replenish myself of what I'm giving out. Because every time you are giving out something, we call it additional content. Anytime you are additional something, a virtues that living, you need to replenish, you need to refill yourself. So by the time you now spend all your days on LinkedIn,
Mm.
posting back to back, you might think you're still making sense, but at the point you will begin to lose it, because you do not have that you don't have that time to refill yourself back. So you need to really take it easy, and take it one step at a time, so that you don't get overwhelmed and get caught up with the um with
Pouring
the
out.
with the work or the stress that comes with social media.
Mm. Okay. You mentioned something very interesting on you post on Sunday after church, and I'm just wondering from your point of view, what is the place of and value system, beliefs, religion in crafting your personal brand, and also maintaining the awareness of I need to be tolerant of all other faiths, belief systems, and how do you
Mm.
integrate that with the reality of my audience is not from a specific demographic or from a specific religion or from a specific race?
Mm. So yeah, it's very important to maintain a balance, because you are speaking to so many people from diverse backgrounds, religion, faith, uh, cultural settings, geographical, demographical region, and all that. So I will
Mhm.
not say you should not talk about your faith. You have the
Yep.
liberty to talk about your faith in your content, because that is what you believe. Remember, I said one of the things you can also use to build your personal brand is your faith and your belief system, your value system and your belief system. And your faith comes from your belief system, because if you believe in God, and if you believe in Jesus, that is your faith. If you believe in Muhammad and you believe in Allah, that is your faith as well, and it's your belief system as well. But what I will
Mm.
not advise that you should do is try to tarnish other faiths,
Faiths.
or try to ridicule them, or try to say bad things about them, just because you're trying to promote your own faith. No.
Mm.
So you are at liberty to talk about your own faith, but you don't have the right to talk about other faiths in a bad light. So just
Mm.
maintain that decorum. I am a Christian, and do talk about it once in a while in my post, because it is just a lifestyle. It's not just about it's not only a faith for me. It's not just a religion. Christianity is not just a religion for me. Christianity is
Mm.
a lifestyle. It's something I
Definitely.
live every day. Everywhere I go, I
Yeah.
go with the consciousness that I am a Christian. I am a child of God, and I believe in God. So there is no way I will craft my content that sometimes my faith and my belief system will not cripple in, and show up in my content. And that's perfectly okay. But like I said, what is not okay is saying bad things about other religion in a bad light, and
Mm.
that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for shedding light on that. Let me just take one of the questions, and I think you've addressed this in one way or the other, but I'll give it over to you. How can professionals identify which of their skills or areas of expertise are most marketable? You're the teacher, you are the chef, you are the nurse, you are as mothers, we play very many roles. You are referee, judge, nurse, cook, all of those. But in a professional setup, how do you identify which one is the most marketable?
Okay, there are so many things. I have a book,
Mhm.
and the name of the book is Profitable Passion. I would love to give it to your community members. And so if you need the book, if you're listening, you can just send me a DM. Please connect with me, send a connection request, then send me a DM, because I know if you don't connect, you won't be able to message me. So send a connection request, I will accept, then message me, tell me you need that book. It is only on request. I don't just send my stuff to people, because I discovered that it brings a lot of familiarity. People just give people what they don't want, what they don't need, what they don't have, so and they don't really appreciate it and they don't even consume it. So that book is called Profitable Passion, and you're going to get all the answers to this question there. But I will give you a snippet of the answer. And one of the answer is that one of the things that you can use to know that this passion or this area of interest is profitable or is something I should put out there is you now put yourself in the position of the other person and say, if I am the one, can I pay for these services? This thing you're talking about now, can I pay for it? So that is talking about profitable passion now, how to know which of your skills, which of your knowledge to monetize. You know, here we're talking about monetizing. Which of those things that I'm doing, if you are in the other person's shoe, can you pay for this thing? Is this thing valuable enough to be paid for? Because some things are, you are passionate about something. Some things we call them passion, we call them hobby, but they are not monetizable. I don't know if there's any word like that. They cannot be monetized because they are just what they are. They cannot be monetized. You can only use them for your pleasure, for your leisure. Now, back to this professional who is saying, I do this, I do that, I do that. Out of all those things you do, you need to ask yourself, which of them do I want to put forward? Which of them have I gained a lot of mastery? You cannot be good 100% with all of these things. No, except you don't want to be truthful to yourself. You need to analyze. Right? In fact, sometimes I ask people, write these things down and grade yourself on this thing by yourself, because you are the only one that can tell yourself the truth. If another person comes to analyze or evaluate your performance or your 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 pronouns on these things, they might not really be able to give you the correct answer. By yourself, ask yourself, which of these things am I really good at? That even when they wake me up from sleep, I can do this thing. Let me tell you, like I told you, I'm an accountant, I am a branding professional. But if you wake me up from sleep and say, what is accounting? Before I give, even though that's what puts food on my table, I do it 9 to 5. I just got off my laptop before jumping into my laptop again for this call. I've been working since morning. But if you wake me up in the night and say, Adeola, come and talk about accounting 5 minutes. Come and talk about branding 5 minutes. Which one do you prefer? I'll pick branding, because I find it so easy and natural. When you ask me that, do I have a slide? I said, no, I'm going to be speaking from my heart, because I can actually speak on branding non-stop for 3 hours, and I'll be going on and on and on, and I will not mind words. I will not repeat anything. I will be dishing out value consistently for 3 hours. So it means that what can you, out of all these keys, which of them come to you so natural? That whether you're sleeping, you're eating, you're on the road, or somebody just tap you and say, can you talk about this thing within 2 minutes? You can. Before I say accounting, okay, accounting, are you asking me about financial accounting or management accounting or processor? Before I finish that one, I would have given you a whole book on branding. So you are the only one that can analyze these things and say which of those things I'm really passionate about. So you might have a lot of skills, but one thing that will stand out in this, in the exhibiting or in showcasing these skills, is the passion that comes with these things. There, a particular person made me a Wednesday crush woman to the WCW, and one of the things that stood out for me in her post is that she said she's passionate about what she does for her brand, and you can see it through her. If I open my mouth for 5 minutes and talk, you will see the passion all over me. I mean, you yourself, you mentioned it today that I talk so passionately, and that's it. So you, because passion has a great role, passion plays a great role in achieving success on your skills. If you put 5 things down and you have passion for one more than the other, you will see that you will excel in the one that you have more passion for than the others. Because you know what passion does for you? Passion is like the fuel in your car for success. Passion gives you the energy to keep going. Even when you face challenges, you say, no, I'm not going to back down. Like I told you, I'm going to be celebrating my 10 years next year. Maybe you're going to come. I'm going to invite you to Nigeria to come for the celebration. I'm telling you in advance, because really throw a big party because it's not been easy. I know how much of challenges I've encountered on this journey. But if you ask me now that what has kept me going, what has made me to still stay on this journey for this long, despite so I've faced a lot. I mean, I've faced bully on this journey in a very bad way. I've faced a lot of challenges, criticism, so many things, disrespect, and so many other things. But there's something that will make me to keep going or made me to keep doing that thing, and that is what we call passion. It energizes, it lightens up, it ignites the fire in you. So if you have a lot of skills and you really do not know which one you should showcase, which one you should put forward, which one you should build your personal brand around, I think you should consider passion. Passion. Which one of them are you most passionate about? So I believe that answers your question. The person who asked this question. Are you with me, Noel? I think is the network is behaving funny, and hopefully she's going to come back. So I'll just be reading comments here. Celia said, I am learning a lot, great insights. A LinkedIn user, which I don't know the name of the person, said, just start is the growth catalyst, 100%. Yes, just start is one of the medicines, one of the antidotes to failure. Because if sometimes we are waiting for the perfect time to start things, we will never get it done except just start it. You will make mistake on it. You will fail there. You will do a lot of try and error. Just keep going. As you move, it becomes very clear. The journey becomes clear and understandable. So how can professional identify which of their skills area are most marketable? Like I've told you, the one that you can convert to cash, the one that you can monetize is the one you are most passionate about. Because when the chips are down, your passion is what is going to help you to scale through that journey. I don't know if we have any other additional question. I cannot see my own audience right now. Let me just check and see if I can pick some questions from them. If you are getting value, please put value in the comment section while I'm waiting for Neolene to join me back on the call. And if you have not connected with me, please send a connection request and let's connect. Okay. So if you have any question, please drop it. If you have any question, please drop it so that we can talk about it. Sharon said, I am introverted and building on LinkedIn is the best decision I made. I started with text-only posts, then transition slowly to posting my pictures. Right now, I am obsessed. I love that, Sharon. So you can start with text only. I was even talking about AI images. So you can actually start by posting just text, even though you might not really get a lot of engagement from it, because people resonate more with pictures and visuals than just text. But it's a good start. I mean, it's a good way of starting something. Instead of you just relapsing and just saying, oh, I cannot do this, I don't know how to do it, just start with text only. You can gradually move to AI images, and later you can now move to putting your picture and your images out there. You're welcome back. I guess the network threw you out. So
Yeah.
I have done justice to that question. I don't know whether we have any other question.
There's one I'd seen from someone in the audience, and she was saying, there's a lot to content create, and just starting isn't. Let me just read this slowly. I think what she's trying to ask is there's a lot of content to be created, and it's not easy just starting. So, how do you start when you have a lot of content that you want to share, but you don't know where to start?
Okay, you can prioritize. You can ask your audience and say, what do you want me to talk about today? What you can give them like 3 or 5 things and say, out of those 5 things, what do you want me to talk about more? So they will give you their priority. They will tell you, oh, talk about this. In fact, in your comment section, you can see 3 people say, talk about A, and 10 people say, talk about B. and 65 people say talk about C. I mean, you already know that it's C that you talk about first. So when you
Mm.
use your audience to maybe generate a poll, you can use that to know whether you should talk about this first or not. So you can, because you cannot push everything on them, you cannot shove everything down their throat. It is going to be too much for them. So you, of course, you have to be taking it one by one by one. But you want to know which one to post first. Ask your audience. Know which one is more important to them, because in building a brand, even though it's a personal brand, it is not that personal, because you also need to consider what your audience wants, what they like, what they want to see, what they want to consume. You cannot just say, because I am the owner of my platform, I can just put anything I like there. No, because you will fade away. If nobody, there's something we call chaotic factor in personal branding. We talk about know, like, and trust. If nobody knows you, like you, or trusts you, you will just be on your own doing things. And humans are social beings. We cannot exist alone. We cannot exist in isolation. We cannot do things on our own. You need to interact with people. It is people that make you that personal brand that you have today. People who say I'm an influencer, who are they influencing? They are influencing people. Okay, people who
Mm.
say I'm a celebrity, the content or whatever it is they are doing, who is consuming it? People. So you cannot
People.
remove people from your equation and say I still want to exist. So you need to consider what your audience wants to hear and what
Mm.
kind of content that they prioritize at their hand. So that's just it.
Okay. How do we send in questions? We can see the questions, just put them on chat. We will respond to them as we are seeing them. Another question, Adeola, is how can professionals effectively use LinkedIn to showcase their expertise and attract potential clients or opportunities? So you have the LinkedIn, you have the content, but you are not sure, how do I do this effectively? What if you were to do like an evaluation or an assessment and you say that this person is actually doing it the right way on LinkedIn, what will that look like for you?
Okay. So that's where LinkedIn optimization comes in. So when the people hear the word optimization, it's a big grammar in their head and they're like, optimize. Oh, what exactly is this optimization you people are talking about? So LinkedIn
Mm.
optimization, when they say you optimize something, you take advantage of something, the whole of that thing. For instance, if I give you 1,000 USD and I say, I want you to go to the market, I want to buy this and this and this and this. I give you so many things I want to buy. And even me, I know that that money cannot be enough to buy those things. I just say, don't worry, just optimize it. Optimize it, just make the best use of it. Just prioritize the things that you know that are important. Buy them, the things that are not, leave them. So just make use of all the money to buy all the resources, or you can just buy a bit of everything that we need. That is optimization. You are buying a bit so that at the end of the day, you are still able to meet all my needs at all level, even though they are not deeper, but you are still able to touch down on all the things that I need. That's what we call optimization. So let's bring it back to LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn optimization is simply saying that all the features, all the all the menus that are present on LinkedIn, make good use of them. You have the space for your bio. Write your bio. Write interesting thing about you. I was doing a LinkedIn class recently, and I told people, I said, LinkedIn is a professional platform, and people write a lot of big grammar, and but you can make it interesting by making your profile interesting. I mean, you just went to my profile now, you saw some funny things about me to say, oh, I graduated with a first class, I like fufu, maybe I come from Nigeria, I like fufu, I like this. I also put there that my name is me, I have a nickname called Minta, it makes it quite interesting. Even though I am still telling you what I do, the kind of services I render, I make it very relaxed and very appealing to you because I am able to optimize it. So what we are saying is that the bio session, the about session, the education session, the award and honor session, every session that LinkedIn has provided, make the optimal use of it. If LinkedIn said the minimum, if you look at my LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn said minimum for our about is 3,000. I make sure that I finish the whole 3,000 words. I make sure I optimized it by writing everything. Even if you don't know me from anywhere, just reading my bio. I've seen a lot of people this week alone to say it's not even this week alone. Most of the time, people just say, "Oh, by the way, I read through your bio, I read through your profile, and I love it," because I make it relaxing and enjoyable for them to read. Okay, so even if you don't like my face, reading my bio might make you to fall in love with me and say, oh, I just like this lady. I love the way she wrote these things, you know. So LinkedIn optimization is just saying that you should use every feature that LinkedIn has provided to showcase your expertise. Because if you don't say these things, if you don't tell us these things, we will not know. I don't have a superpower. I don't have any divine power for me to know what is going on in you, to know where you're coming from, what you're doing, what you have achieved. I don't have that superpower. Okay. So the only way you can make me to know is by showcasing your expertise on your LinkedIn. So the place for experience, write your experience, write it in detail. It's free. They're not, nobody's collecting money apart from the data you're going to buy to do these things, which is very cheap and quite affordable. You know, your experience, write it in full. Your achievements. Sometimes they will ask you, have you collected some of the award you've collected before, some of the projects you've written, some of the papers you've published, articles. These are things, but sometimes they will give you the space to put a picture, to attach a picture to those things. Optimize it. You know, optimize it. Make the best use of it so that people can be able to see what you have in terms of potentials. You know, so that's just how you can leverage LinkedIn to showcase your expertise and attract clients or opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As in, the questions are coming in thick, which is, I feel something I should have told you when we were doing the prep work, that towards the end, a lot of questions come in. Are you able to allow us a few more minutes of your time?
Okay, please go ahead. Let's see.
Okay, you please guide me. I do not want to overstep on the amount of time that you're able to give us. The next question,
Okay.
I'll just put it up. What are some common mistakes that people make on LinkedIn when trying to build their brands, and how can they avoid them? I know you've spoken about you want to be a master of everything, but what are some of the other common mistakes that we are making on LinkedIn that go against trying to build a personal brand?
Okay, I've talked about trying to be a master of everything. I also talked about posting too much. You
Mm,
can get overwhelmed just because you want to be known. You think posting too much is going to give you that visibility. No, sometimes it even gets you into trouble because you bore your audience. They're seeing you too much and you lose your relevance. You lose your savor, you know. So sometimes you just have to make yourself scarce a little bit, not just everywhere every time, you know. So posting too much is not going to does not amount to visibility. No, it's not. Some people said it is, but I do not agree because I've seen when I post every day and when I post 3 times or 2 times in a week, I've seen the difference. So just make sure that you're delivering good content. But when you post once a week, by the time you're posting it, everybody is looking forward to receive your post because by the time you drop it, they know its value. So whether you post once or twice, you will always get results as long as it is valuable content. So another thing I also believe people do is copy. They copy other people. You know, it's not a problem to copy because nothing in the real sense is new. You know, like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun, under the heaven. There's really nothing new. Everything that we are doing today, like this live show we are doing today, is not new. Did we just start this today? Is everybody surprised to see this live show today? No. This is something that so many other people have done over and over and over and over. Even before we came to the understanding of this StreamYard live streaming, a lot of people have done it. So there's really nothing new about anything we are doing. The only thing is that do not copy. You can get inspired by what other people are doing. You know, you can get motivated, you can get gingered, you can get fired up by what people are doing, but don't copy people verbatim. Don't copy them word for word. Don't copy them. You see some people, they will even copy you to the extent they will copy your flyer, your graphics design. They will copy it. How? Why? Some people will copy to the extent that they will copy the way you speak, the way you gesticulate, the way you do the ow. You have a unique personality. And remember, when I was talking about personal branding, I said personal branding is you promoting your unique value proposition. So it means that you have some uniqueness in you that God has deposited in you as a person. So all you need to do is just look for that unique thing and bring it out and polish it and push it out there. You don't need to copy anybody, my dear. You don't need it. Because when you're copying everybody, you lose your identity, you lose your originality. I've seen a lot of people who come to me and say, we want to manage your social media. I said, you can manage my business social media, my organization's social media, but my personal social media, you can't. Because there is a
mm,
way I bring my identity, my faith, my value. There's a way I bring all of these things. I pour them into my content. You will not be able to do that for me. So
Mm.
I cannot copy you because I am me and I have my value that I want to showcase to my people. So be authentic. See, I wrote something one day that I said people can smell fakeness from afar. People can do what? Smell fakeness from afar.
Mm.
Ingenuity, they can smell it from afar. When you're
Definitely.
talking and you're not genuine, when you're posting a content and it's not genuine, it's a copy and paste, you will see that. I use ChatGPT, not that I don't use it at all, but I use it when I need to use. Maybe I am
Mm.
trying to write something and I need some quotes to corroborate what I'm writing. I go to ChatGPT and say, can you give me a quote about passion? And it will bring it. And
Mm.
sometimes I don't even copy word for word. Sometimes I just copy, paste, then just do some re-engineering and push it out. So don't copy. Don't be another person. Remain authentic.
Mm.
And another thing is that another mistake that people make is that they also copy because they copy what is trendy. They follow the trend. Oh, leadership is now what is buzzing the internet now. Everybody is not talking about leadership.
Mm.
Leadership. Let me to start talking about leadership. They follow the bandwagon. They follow trend. See, sometimes what
Mm.
you're doing might not be popular yet. It might not have gained a lot of popularity or a lot of weight or a lot of authority yet. But if
Yes.
you keep doing that thing over and over again, it will come to a point that people will start accepting that thing and they will start. I made a post recent sometimes ago, and I said that there was a time when I was still on Facebook. I remember I said I started on Facebook. There was a particular lady that was talking about podcasts, and that was as far back as I mean 9 years ago when I started. Podcast
Mm.
has not really been a thing in Africa
Mm.
at all, in the world at all. Podcast is just like when you say podcast, it looks like you are singing to somebody's ear. What is podcast? So this lady
Mm.
will be talking about podcast. Oh, I teach people about how to podcast. I teach people how to be a podcaster. I do this, I do that. But she was not able to stay. She was not able to see it through. At a
Mm.
point, she opted for something else. She started doing makeup, which is okay. I mean, if that is what gives her money, fine. She opted
Mm.
into the beauty and lifestyle industry and she became a makeup artist and she was just doing her own stuff and she abandoned the podcasting. And look
Mm.
at it, between 2022 and now, podcast has gained ground.
Yeah.
Podcast has become an household name. Podcast has become a big deal in Africa.
Mm.
And I begin to remember that, oh, this lady that used to talk about podcast, that had it been she stayed true, she would be by now she will be an authority in that area that people will be coming to come and learn from to say
Yeah.
how do we do this thing. But she was not able. She jumped on something else because oh, this is what is now giving people money. She jumped on it and left this one. So you might be doing something that is not yet popular, that is not yet making money. With time it will start giving you that kind of attention or recognition or monetary value that you want. Another example is comedy. I don't know how big comedy is in Kenya, but in
Mm.
Nigeria, comedy is a big deal. I mean, years
Mm.
back, if you as a lady take a comedian home and say, "Oh, mama, papa, meet my husband," and say, "Oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Henry," and then I ask Mr. Henry, "What job are you doing?" And Mr. Henry and say, "I'm a comedian." They will not give Mr. Henry food. On that, just Mr. Henry, just come and go to your house because our daughter cannot marry a comedian. For
Mm.
where comedians are rich are poor people. I
Mm.
mean, this is years back.
Back.
But
Mm.
in the last 10 years, comedy has become a big deal. A big deal to the extent that people now cash out heavily on it. But when it
Mm.
first started, nobody knew it's going to get to this stage. So what am I saying in essence? You need to stay true to yourself. You need to stay true to your call. You need to stay true to your vision. Stop moving here and there. With
Mm.
time, with consistency, with dedication, with hard work, you're going to get there and you're going to get results. So that's
Mm.
just my advice, or that's just what I would like to say about. There are so many other mistakes, but just for the sake of time, those are the three that I will try to highlight. Number one, do not be a jack of all trade. Number two, do not overwhelm yourself by posting content every day. And number three, do not copy other people. And number four, do not jump on trend. Stay
Yeah.
true to your call and keep at it. So those are the four
Mm.
things I would like to highlight for
Uh,
today's session.
Thank you, thank you. So, let me just post this. Please keep me honest as far as your time allocation goes. How important is content creation on LinkedIn for establishing a profitable brand? And what type of content works best? Is it storytelling, carousels, PDFs, articles? What exactly works best when you're trying to create your brand and then become profitable on LinkedIn?
Okay, so all types of content worked on LinkedIn. And I would advise that you should post all types of content. Don't just restrict yourself. I know text and picture and images is what comes easily to some of us, a lot of us, including me, because it's quite easy. You can be in the restroom and you're quickly typing your text, quickly put it together, just put it out. But if you want to do a video, you cannot be in the restroom and doing a video, right? You have to be well seated, well dressed, well made up, and so it
Mm,
takes a lot of time and energy to do that. And if you want to do carousel too, it takes a lot of energy. You have to go to Canva, or I don't know about other app, but I'm so used to Canva. You have to go to Canva and Pixar Lab or something. You need to start designing. It takes a lot of time to do that. And so I think text is quite easy and quite quick for some of us. And that's why most of the time we jump on text. So but I would advise that you should still explore other content. There's no content that doesn't work on LinkedIn. All content works. Whether it is
mm,
PDF, carousel, video, audio, or shorts recorded video, anything, any type of content work. Most of the time, the most important thing is the value embedded in that content. And I do all of them. I think this year I have not
mm,
done carousel, and I will look at it because I have quite a number of carousel that I posted long ago, and they are still very relevant that I can repost. So yes, I have those carousels that I can post. So I do carousel, I do video, I do audio. I've also not done audio events this year. So I think for me this year I've not done audio and I've not done carousel, but I've done video and I've done text and I've done live video like this, live video,
mm,
recorded video, audio event. Have I done audio? I think I've done audio event. I think it's only carousel I've not done this year. So yeah, I think you should mix it up. You should spice it up with different kinds of content. Don't just stay on one. And I think what people do most is just stay on text every day, including me. I'm also guilty of this. We need to start seeing how we can spice up our content with varieties of content.
content.
Not just
Mm,
one, so that we can appeal to different, because it's not everybody that like text,
yeah.
and it's not everybody that likes video. So if you are able
Mm,
to maintain a balance, it means that you'll be able to satisfy everybody, every sector or every segment of your audience. So
yeah.
that's it.
Okay. Um, I want to ask you something else, and I'll give you a bit of context even as I read this question. I have people in my network who I know want to retire into consulting, and I have people in my network who want to retire into lecturing. And I'm looking at this question that goes, how can someone transition from a traditional career path to becoming a profitable personal brand? And if I were to add my own thoughts to the question, I would ask, how do you start leveraging your LinkedIn? Not just for monetizing your skills and your knowledge, but also to build you up as a consultant. So you're transitioning from the traditional career path, 8 to 5, and then building the brand into something like consulting.
Okay, so very good question. I think what I would say is that before you leave one, you're transitioning. That means you're moving from one to another, right? So before you move, build your personal brand gradually by the side. So you don't have to give it 100% of your attention,
Mm,
but you can build it, by the side. Just build it there so that by the time you want to, transition 100%, you are not strange. It is not strange to you. You are also not strange to it. It is something you've been doing. But
mm,
imagine you've been doing 9 to 5, the traditional career for almost 25 years, and suddenly one day, without any notice, you did not give yourself notice. Now, you just woke up one morning and say, I think next month, I want to start building my personal brand on LinkedIn, and that's what I want to be doing for a living. I mean, it's going to be difficult because
yeah.
there are so many, like I told you while I was speaking, that building your personal brand is a lot of patience, requires a lot of patience, requires a lot of time, requires a lot of effort and consistency. So it's something you should have been doing by the side before you transition. That's number one. Number two is something you should know that this thing is profitable. Remember, I talk about this profitable passion. Don't
Mm.
transition into an hobby that is not. It's not all hobby that is profitable.
Yeah.
For instance, let me give you an example. For instance, cooking for some people is an hobby. They love cooking when they are free, when they are in their leisure time. But cooking is profitable because you can be a chef, you can
Yeah.
be a caterer, you can be a baker, you can be anything, right?
Mm.
But there are some other hobby that might not be profitable. I'm going to remember one of them because I have those examples in my head, but I've forgotten them. But there are some hobbies that are really not profitable. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot really make any money from it. You cannot really earn a living. If you do it, people will say thank you. But people don't see it as something that is really weighty enough to pay
Mm-hmm.
you for. People don't see it as something that is really
What?
important enough to be paid for. So, and that was why I asked you the question. You need to put yourself in that shoe and ask yourself, this thing I'm doing, can I also pay for it? If I am at the other hand, is this something I can pay for? So if you yourself, you know that this thing you're doing, you cannot pay for it, then there's no need. It means that people will not pay for it. Okay,
Mm.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let me give you an example of an hobby that is not profitable. You know, going to parties for some people is an hobby.
Mm.
Yeah, they like it. I'm also a party person. I mean,
Mm.
if you, I was talking to someone. I don't live in Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria, but I don't live in Nigeria. But currently, I'm in Nigeria. I came to do something for my brand, and I'll be leaving very
Mm.
soon. The next week, I'll be leaving to my base. I came from Cote d'Ivoire. I live in Cote d'Ivoire,
Mm.
and anytime I come to Nigeria, I just have parties to attend because I'm just like, oh, this person is doing party, that one person is doing party. And I was speaking with my mom yesterday, and she said, oh, thank God you are not living in Nigeria. I didn't know you are living in Nigeria. You would have been going to party every Saturday, every weekend. Because it's something I enjoy doing. When I just look around, I
Mm.
say, nothing is happening. Who's doing party? Who is inviting me for party? So, but can I monetize partying? Is it something like, no? It's
Mm.
an hobby, something I enjoy doing, something I'm interested, I'm passionate. I like party. I mean, I am a bubbling person. From the way I speak, you should know I like party. I like dressing up, making up, dressing, saying, oh yeah, let's go to party, let's go for wedding. Not night parties anyway, wedding ceremonies, birthday parties, lunch,
Mm.
chieftaincy titles, all those parties generally.
Mm.
And it's not something you can monetize. It's when you go for people's party, they'll thank you. Oh, thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Maybe they'll give you souvenir. You carry it home and go and sleep. It's not something you can monetize. So there
Mm.
are so many things that they are just hobby doing at your leisure time that are
Mhm.
not monetizable. So you need to also identify that before you move into that, so that you will not get there and get stranded. You will not get there and begin to say, oh, I regret, after you have left your 9 to 5 career that you're doing. So you need to be sure that this thing is something that is
That-
scalable. This thing that is something that I can monetize, and this is something that people will be willing to pay for. Yeah.
Mm. Really, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. So passionate. There are quite a number of questions also coming through, but I need to put a hard stop out of respect for your time because there's a limit to how long we needed to have you on the call. But I'm so grateful that you've extended us the grace of 20 extra minutes. I totally believe you
Thank you.
when you say you can talk about this for 3 hours. I can see it. You've been speaking for almost 1.5 hours. I totally believe you. But you've dropped such valuable insight. And I love the fact that you are speaking from not experimentation, but from lived experience. And you even have the social proof on your social media profile, on your LinkedIn profile, which tells me that for sure you have lived it. You know what you are talking about. I'm very grateful on behalf of everyone who's joining for
Thank
this mentorship
you.
session. Thank you, Adeola. I appreciate it. Thank you
Thank you
so
so much
much.
for having me. And I believe we had a good time together. I look forward to doing this with you some other time. Thank you, everyone. who has
Thank,
participated, asked questions, and I hope to catch up with all of you some other time. Thank you.
thank you. So, to the audience, those of us who are watching us live and those who are going to catch this recording later on, I'm going to stop this so you can see our names. Please go to Adeola's LinkedIn page, follow her, connect with her, start reading her content so you can understand the journey that she's on. You can understand where her passion is coming from and even begin to see from somebody who is already doing it, who is exemplifying personal branding on how to do it. Reach out to her if you want support on personal branding and on LinkedIn optimization and how to monetize your profile. You've listened to her, you've heard what she has to say. That said, Adeola, once again, thank you so much for the extra 23 minutes that you have allowed us. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Enjoy the rest of
Wow.
your day.
Thank you to everyone else. Bye. Have a fantastic balance of morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day you're catching us on. Have a fantastic one. Bye, everyone.